We as a church are called to a vision to see High Wycombe as a town transformed by God through his loving, serving and worshipping church. And the Living Stones project is a key part of taking that vision forward so that we can be a church that worships God, serves our community together. Now, so much has been achieved already. We've got exciting and creative architect plans. We've appointed Beeks as our builder who built the hub in 2000. And through your generosity, we have over £1 million now given, pledged and in interest-free loans. So much has been achieved. And we're now at a point where after 2 years of struggle, we need to make some important decisions which will shape this church for the next number of decades. Now, before I go into the plans, I'd love to tell you a little bit, or remind you a little bit, about our church history. Well, here we are outside the sanctuary, and we've got this memorial stone here which shows us that this was built in 1845. But rather sadly and tragically, in 1907, this whole building went up in flames. We weren't properly insured, but wonderfully and heroically, the church responded so that this building could be rebuilt and we could enjoy the sanctuary as we do today. During the First World War, 11 men from this church paid the ultimate sacrifice. The men of the church wanted to respond, and their response was, by the sweat of their brow, building this memorial block. A block built to remember those lives, but a block ever since used for the gospel purposes. And because this block was built, men and women and girls and boys came to faith. In recent years, the church has given sacrificially in order to build the hub. The hub brilliantly links the memorial block with the sanctuary. And it has served our community and the homeless in ways we really could not have imagined. So we can see that God's hand has been on us as a fellowship and on the buildings in which we worship. God has shaped us and reshaped us, and our buildings have reflected that too. Interestingly, I think we can see a pattern that after times of great challenge, God has often reshaped us and our buildings. We have been through a time of war with an invisible enemy, COVID-19. And as we emerge from that, we believe it is now time to invest in this worship space and the adjacent rooms to make them fit for worship and for service within our community. This particular worship space has a lot of need of repair. The windows are drafty, the seats are uncomfortable, the sight lines in the gallery are poor, and the audio visuals need substantial change. We could just try to repair, but we want to transform this space so that it's a blessing and fit for the Father and fit for the future. We've been blessed by inheriting these rooms, this building, through the sacrificial giving of previous generations. It's now our privilege to, in our generation, build with silver and gold for His glory.
We believe we need to create a flexible, welcoming space to serve the needs of our church and the people of this town. We want to create a space which is ideal for our Sunday services, but which can also be used throughout the week as we worship God by serving this community. We believe that God is calling us to create a contemporary and accessible space in which we can explore fresh expressions of worship and in which people can hear and experience and respond to the gospel in a beautiful setting. So what's this going to look like? Let's take a look at the plans.
Starting with the sanctuary space, we're looking to repair, enhance and reorder. On the ground floor there will be a remodelled entrance to Easton Street which will offer greater visibility into the church sanctuary and allow for a central aisle. We'll have much needed toilet facilities at the back of the main worship space, making them accessible for everyone. The sanctuary floor will be levelled and new underfloor heating will be installed. On the ground floor, the pews will be replaced with movable chairs, enabling the space to be adapted for youth gatherings, cafe-style worship, and interactive learning experiences such as alpha or parenting courses. The stage will be enlarged, giving more space for musicians and featuring new baptistry. A new glass balustrade on the cutback gallery with fewer downstairs pillars and more side screens will improve visibility so everyone can see clearly. We will renew and substantially enhance our audio-visual systems so we can see and hear everything clearly. Bespoke lighting will enhance the beauty of the building, effectively lighting up the stage area. A vital element of the project is to offer a welcoming coffee area, easily accessible from the side entrance. This will be a bright and attractive space for building community and a wonderful area for relating to one another. Coming up onto the balcony area, we will retain the pews, which will be upholstered with cushions to improve comfort. Substantial extra storage space will be built in where the organ is currently located. We'll replace our drafty windows with double glazing and carry out a complete redecoration of the ceilings and walls to brighten and lighten up the whole worship space.
The Living Stones project will create a space fit for worship of our Heavenly Father and flexible enough to enable future generations to experience His transforming presence.
So, can you imagine what it will be like? The time now is to respond with faith, to respond with generosity and a heart of sacrifice. Let's create together a building fit for the Father and fit for the future.